What's up, guys? Welcome back to Man Cave Collectibles, coming at you today with another figure review. Today we're going to jump back into our Mythic Legions action figures. If you're a follower of the channel, you will know that I started collecting Mythic Legions a few months ago, and I've kind of been chipping away at the different characters that I really like and think are cool looking. Within the line, there's so many characters I can never be a completionist as far as the Mythic Legions line. But I do want to skip around and pick and choose the characters that I really like personally. And this is one of them. This is COWARROS, who is a kind of an homage figure to He-Man's Battle Cat. So if you're not familiar with who Mythic Legion or what Mythic Legions is, it is a company that the Four Horsemen, who sculpted the He-Man Classics line, the 2000X, they've done a lot of He-Man work in the past. They kind of branched off and created their own line called Mythic Legions. And amongst that line, they have done homage figures to different He-Man characters, and in this case it's Battle Cat. And if you know He-Man, you can obviously see the similarities right off the bat. But really cool character. His faction is the army of Leodysseus. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. You can correct me in the comments with a pronunciation if so. But he's a warrior. It says he's a powerful and noble warrior, uses exceptional speed and strength to serve under the banner of the Golden Lion of the army of Leodysseus. So that's kind of a little bio from straight from the Source Horseman's website. Now I'm going to go ahead and do kind of a quick plug here. The Mythic Legions line has their newest wave up for pre-order right now. Elithia, I think, is maybe how you pronounce that. But you can see here just some amazingly cool looking characters. I've got a couple of these pre-ordered myself. That vampire bat there, just phenomenal. Definitely one I can't wait to get my hands on. But you can head over to sourcehorseman.com and it'll direct you to the storehorsemans.com store, the shop, where you can go and pre-order these. And that's really what I've kind of learned is the path to go, because you actually get them more at a retail price, where if you end up going out to Big Bad Toy Store, you end up paying a little bit of a premium on those figures. All right, let's jump right into the review. I'm sure that's why you guys are here. Looking at our packaging, we've got this clamshell blister card packaging that just is amazing. We can see a lot of what's in here. Our sword, obviously our hero here. Mythic Legion's got their logoing there. Little brand info up top with their websites. Little logo there in the top. Then as we flip onto the back, you got a little bit of the mythos here of Mythic Legions, which is always good to check out. I'll bring it up close here. You can pause that screen if you care to read all of that. And then over here, you just have a few other characters in the line that are all really cool looking. On the sides of each of the packages, you've got the faction there. That's kind of the faction symbol. And then on this side, you actually have a little bit of a write-up on COWARROS, the actual character that's in the packaging. So I think that's really cool. If you kind of take all these bios and put them together, you end up kind of putting together a story of this universe. So it's really cool how they did it. A little bit reminiscent of kind of how He-Man's Classics kind of did their storyline by using the bios to kind of tell a story. So really cool stuff. Let's go ahead and pop this guy out of his packaging, see what we got. All right, guys, we got COWARROS out on our table here, looking phenomenal. Just as cool out of package as I was hoping he would be. As always, let's jump directly into our accessories that he comes with. So, as with all Mythic Legion figures, we get the belt. So this is just a belt you can put around the waist. You can kind of, side straddle it, and you can put a sword, through the back of it there. Whatever you want to put in it, you can kind of work that out, stick that down in, whatever you want to do. It kind of comes with all of them. Now that we've had this out here, we'll go ahead and take a look at his sword. The sword looks really nice. So this is the first real straight out of the package paint issues that I've had with Mythic Legion. So you can see right up here on the hilt and handle, you can see some blue specks there along all kind of little nicks and dings. You can see one right here on the handle part right there. So I'm not sure what's up with that. That's kind of new. I've reviewed multiple Mythic Legions figures and really never been able to find any type of a flaw, but I do see that they are straight out of package. I bought this brand new from Big Bad Toy Store. But yeah, just little nicks and dings all over the handle and hilt of the sword there, so kind of interesting. But either way, it does look really, really nice. That blade just has a chrome blue. It just looks really phenomenal in the light. The sculpting is, you know, really probably some of the best sculpting you're going to find on any figure out there at all. Next, he's got his tail right here. It's just got a ball peg on the end of it. And then right here underneath his armor, you can see there's a place for it, and that just pegs right in. It's always tough to get these to peg in on camera, but it does peg in. It's not too bad as long as you're not trying to do it on camera. So got the tail. We also have kind of it's not armor. It's literally made to kind of be part of his body, but it is to kind of bulk him up a little bit. We'll put it on here in a little bit and I'll show you. It's got some peg holes here in the back for his pauldrons to be inserted into. Real nice paint detail there. You can see it kind of looks like it has almost like a blue gem kind of in front of it there. The buckles and stuff all painted real well. It looks really, really nice. Painted up just like he is there. Now, the only issue that I could see with this kind of has a fur texture to it to kind of look like fur. Whereas if we look at, you know, his body here, it's just a really smooth, kind of shiny plastic. Then his head is back to the fur. So I think it would have really been cool if they would have kind of sculpted the whole body in that fur. But I understand probably what they were doing here. I'm sure this is a reuse of a body mold from a character that had probably already been issued, and just to, you know, keep the cost lower, which I appreciate, they just went ahead and used, you know, like a human body. All right, moving on. We've got his two pauldrons here. So these are his shoulder pauldrons. They look really good, as I've already stated. Just the paintwork and sculpt work is phenomenal. It's got the two pegs there. Those will peg into the peg holes on his back. He's got these kind of wing attachments. These pretty much come with every figure I've reviewed so far. It's just kind of something for customization if you wanted to add some type of wings or some type of back, you know, accessory. That's what these are for. They're kind of universal. And like I said, I think we've pretty much gotten these with most of the Mythic Legion characters that I have picked up. Now, he also comes with two of these shields here. So they're a little bit different. This one has some blue accenting colors on it. This one does not. And they basically just have these little clips. They push on. And you can clip these to his wrist if you wanted him to dual wield two different shields. You can do so. And then lastly, an additional head sculpt. So we've got an orc head here, which I think is really, really cool. I don't know how this will look. We'll put it on there and check it out. You can see in there's no eyes or anything sculpted in there. It's just kind of a green, smooth plastic down inside those eye holes. So there's no sculpting there, but the faces, lips, and mouth are just phenomenally sculpted. Let's see if we can, there you go. Just really, really well done. The paintwork is awesome. You can see that helmet that he has on kind of has some battle damage and scarring to it, which looks really good. So we'll see how that looks here in a little bit. All right, so let's take a closer look at our COWARROS figure. So we'll bring him up here and take a look at that face and face sculpt. It just looks really, really nice. Those eyes are painted yellow with kind of a red dot there in the middle. Looks really good. The fur is nicely sculpted. It's got those battle cat kind of tiger stripes all over. Looks really, really nice. Just a stoic face. Nose is painted black. Moving on down the body there. You can see, like I said, we probably have used reuse of a human body that they've just painted with kind of those same tiger stripes and painted green. The greens do a really good job in transition. So the green from the head, transitioning the green and the orange stripes from the head, do a fantastic job transitioning down to the body. And that's something that, you know, we see a lot of mishaps on figures nowadays, especially things like Marvel Legends, even my Hasbro Transformer collection. I notice that a lot in the Transformers world where, Hasbro, you'll have two different color. Sunstreaker was a good example of that. You had like two or three different yellow tones within the same figure. Don't have to worry about that here with this one. Real nice gauntlets here. Moving on down. See this? This is just amazing sculpt work, amazing paint work, no flaws. You know, this is so well done. You can just tell that the horseman just put a lot of work and effort and, you know, just really care and love into these figures that sometimes we don't get with all the companies out there. And then moving on down, we've already saw kind of these boots and the feet. We've already seen these on some of our figures there. Not a tight joint in the ankle, but it's not loose either. Let's run through articulation. As far as the head area up here, you can get down, up, plenty of circle, 360 round and round, no problems. If you have the shoulder armor on, you're going to be very hindered here. You're going to get basically no up or down, very little side to side, but we don't have that on right now. Shoulders up to about right there. We've got a single jointed elbow, barely going to get 90 degrees out of it. We do have a swivel in the elbow, so that elbow will swivel there, okay? Then you've got a swivel here at the gauntlet as well, 360. Almost, the armor kind of hinders the 360. You probably could get it if you force it. Might have a little paint chippage. Back and forth. No ab crunch, but we do have a waist crunch there. The waist just kind of sits on a ball peg there, so it'll go forward and back about like that. Plenty of swivel back and forth, round and round, no worries. Out to about right there with no stress. The waist armor moves out of your way. Single jointed knees up to there, okay? Those knees will swivel and swivel at the top of the thigh. So you got a lot of swivel action in the leg, and then all types of movement here in the ankles. You can see that, tons of ankle rocker. So you're gonna be able to get this guy in pretty much any pose you would want to get him in. All right, so let's look at a few of the accessories we were talking about. So the first thing, we want to pop this head off. Comes off easy enough. You can see just a ball peg there. Now, if we want to bulk this guy up, you're basically just gonna pop this on, just like that, and then pop this head back on to that body, and that's going to help secure the shoulders on to the body, because this doesn't really lock into anything. It just kind of sits down over the top of it, and then you can see it kind of recreates the peg holes for us here in order to use for our pauldrons. So you can see how that immediately kind of bulks COWARROS up. And then if you actually add the pauldrons onto that, you're going to really see a much bulkier cat. We bulked up COWARROS and made him much more intimidating very quickly, just by adding those three accessories, the two pauldrons and the kind of additional shoulder musculature, I guess we could call it. But you can see here, by having the pauldrons there, it kind of helps with that transition from the furry shoulder accessory to kind of this smooth paintwork on the body itself. So I really like that. I think that looks really nice. This is probably how I have him posed with his sword, maybe a shield, just looking fantastic. Let's go ahead and throw on our orc head. Let's see how that looks. All right, guys, so here's our orc head. Really, it looks much better than I thought it would, to be honest with you. I was kind of expecting it not to really fit right with the tiger striping and you know, the smooth green color. I didn't think it would fit kind of the way I wanted it to, but this is actually a really good look. I think it transitions well. Almost, instead of being tiger stripe, you almost could look at it more as almost like a tribal type coloring on the skin. I think it really looks good. So if you had two of these guys, it would certainly be well worth posing them with the two separate heads and kind of make two separate people. And one thing that's cool about the Mythic Legions line is you can very easily customize anything that they have here. You know, the pauldrons, or you know, the hands, the gauntlets. You can really customize a lot of these things. Definitely the waist armor. You know, those are all things that are customizable, and you know, you can swap them out, do different things with them. So just a really, really cool line if you're a customizer as well. Let's bring in a few figures for size comparison, and then we'll wrap up our video. All right, guys, and for a quick size comparison here, we've got our Clawful from our MOTU Classics line, and we've got from our Mythic Legions line, we got Mr. Redfin there. So you can kind of see where he stacks up with a dwarf with kind of another 7-inch figure. Let's bring in a couple other figures for size comparison. Here we have our Lion-O from the Super 7 line and a standard 6-inch Marvel Legend. So you can see he's going to fit right in with your Super 7 collection as well. So, you know, your TMNT, your MOTU Classics, and your Thundercats from Super 7 fits right in. Looks really, really nice. This is a fantastic figure from this line, guys. I really, really have enjoyed finally getting him out of the package, getting him on the review table. Can't wait to get him posed up with my other Mythic Legions. We'll have more Mythic Legions reviews to come in the future on a lot of other figures that I've just not unboxed yet, as well as when the new line finally drops, we'll have some figures pre-ordered from that as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It helps get the channel out there for other people to be able to see. It's how the YouTube analytics work. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. Love to have you as part of the Man Cave Collectibles team. Drop a comment down below. Do you guys collect Mythic Legions? If you do, give me some Mythic Legions that I need to pick up. I do have a slew of them. You can go back and look at some of my haul videos. You'll be able to see what I have in my collection. But if there's some out there, throw the names out there. I like hearing from you guys. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Until next time.